A little while back ago, someone asked me to make a video on Justin Waller. And to be quite honest with you guys, I have very limited exposure to him. I don't really know where he comes from. I don't really know why he has a lot of money. But I have seen him on multiple different podcasts, and I've seen clips of him discussing similar, if not the same, talking points of being a, quote, high-value male or whatever the flip. Apparently, he's a part of the Red Pill Avengers or something. I don't even know if that's really a thing or that's just something someone says. But if there is anything that kind of confirms or shows how a lot of these high-value males were just a bunch of dweebs that worked out a whole bunch, thought too hard about why they weren't successful with women, and then created a business model on that, it'd be the fact that anyone would ever refer to themselves as the Red Pill Avengers, because from one dweeb to another, that's really dweeby. And I know, I'm the poster child of dweebs. So, here's the thing. I'm not here to truly just make fun of Mr. Waller, but to point out a couple of different things about, like, these current high-value males, kind of using him a little bit. Again, I have limited exposure to him, and I will expand this conversation quite a bit as well, but he'll be our jumping off point. So, I wanted to create a video where I talked about the gym aesthetic. One thing that annoys me greatly is everyone proclaims that the gym is the holy ground of which all of your dreams will come true. Once you get a nice aesthetic body, you've obtained your discipline, and now you have to work towards, I guess, becoming like Bruce Wayne or something and getting your wealth or whatever. I don't really know. I don't really know what the actual game plan path is, but I do know everyone always tells young men that when they go to the gym, the mystical, magical wonderland, everything will be great and wonderful once they get their aesthetic body. I think that is a crappy way to get people to actually respect and love the vessel of which God has granted them. Look, make no mistake, I've said this in plenty of videos before and I will always say it. Exercising shouldn't be something you do because you want women to like you or to become a high-value male. It's something you should do because you need to do it. But in my collecting of clips in order to show you guys just how prevailing this message is, there was a question or a clip I saw Justin Waller had, and it goes like this, right?
Bro, these fucking girl questions, bro. Y'all have a question about anything else in life but these fucking women? That's what's wrong with y'all motherfuckers. How many questions have we answered? Like 15 questions. All y'all want to talk about is chicks. Let me tell you something. I was not even fucking worried about chicks because I was so on what the fuck I was supposed to be doing. I bet none of the 15 guys that sent me a message have a six-pack. Not one of you motherfuckers. Now I bet none of you motherfuckers make over 200 grand a year. And you ask me about fucking chicks. Guess what, motherfucker? She does not want you until you get your shit together.
You know, there's something about this two-step, I like to call it, with a lot of these high-value male Red Pill Avenger type guys. And that is the fact that there's this great pretending that the entire motivation or objective in trying to get this ripped and this much money and this much social status isn't to get female attention. I will never BS any of you guys. The reason why I resonate with the Red Pill, the reason why I resonate with MGTOW, the reason why I resonate with incels, the reason why I resonate with the manosphere is not just because I, too, as a black man, have been inundated with many messages on how I'm supposed to be a bloody terrible person based on the fact that I have dark skin and the fact that I have testosterone pumping through my veins, but also, I, too, understand the pain of not being loved by women. So I will never pretend otherwise when I say this. My ultimate objective is to help us all, males and females, love and care about each other. So why is it that these red pill guru guys always come with this nonsense that we're not here to get females? When the main measure of their success, technically speaking, isn't them being aesthetically pleasing, it's the fact that they have females. In fact, think about it for a second. People always talk about how Elon Musk and what's the other guy? Bill Gates somehow found themselves getting a female despite the fact that they're not physically attractive. So being physically attractive apparently isn't the important aspect there too. If what models their success is the female, right? So it isn't just, again, the prescription that the key to your destiny, is to be looking guy. I mock these people. I'm sick of this. Like, again, I love exercising, and I think it's important to be strong and fast and powerful, but Lord have mercy, the how do you say, the focus on just looking nice and looking good is annoying to me, especially when people do so many amazing cool things with their bodies. You look at parkour, you look at isometric strength training where people can like hold and like bend metal. Sometimes it's wonderful, and yet the only thing people care about is just looking good. That's the prescription that's given to us, and all of this again is the key, the vehicle to get to female. So why Justin Waller has this great pretending in that clip is goofy to me. But there's another clip I saw actually that partly sparked me into finally making this. It was what happened when he was on the Whatever podcast with this lady here. Now she's I forget. You know what? I forget. So I'll just play her introduction on the Whatever podcast. I'll just have her explain it.
I'm Lila Rose. I'm 34, and my occupation is the president of Live Action, and I'm a writer and a speaker, and a mom.
Okay. What is Live Action, by the way?
We're a human rights organization defending children in the womb, mothers, fathers, and families.
So based.
It's beautiful.
So we finally get a lady worth her salt to battle ideologically with Mr. Waller. And this is a little brief interaction that they had. Of course, everyone loves the clips and the Twitter and whatnot. But I do think that it's poignant. I want you guys to see what occurs here.
Or die like really there with them, even if they're upset or jealous.
Can I ask you one more question?
Fire away, honey.
Okay. If you have only one place in your heart for one woman, or you want to have one woman in your heart, I think you said, why don't you just commit to one and choose to be faithful to her?
I'm just not wired that way. I spent my whole 20s trying to fix myself. Thought
You're
something
a
was
man
wrong
of
with me.
self-control. You work out, you do business.
Yeah.
You can possess your own power and direct it the way you want to direct it.
It's just not how I am. It's not how I am.
You think that might be a limited mindset?
I think it's none of your business, but I don't want you to think I'm triggered by you. I'm not.
Okay.
I saw somebody say that, and I think that's interesting. I think you're annoying, but I'm not triggered. You know what I'm saying? No, you are. You're annoying in like this goody two-shoes type way, and that's fine. I'm going to live my life on my terms, unapologetically, like truly. So you can ask me this 85 different ways. At the end of the day, I'm going to walk out of here the same man. And any woman in my life, you either accept that or leave. And that's not a threat. That's, hey, this is what I offer. If that works for you, okay. If it doesn't, you can go.
The reason why I wanted to juxtapose these two Justin Waller clips is because I wanted to show you the BS versus the truth. The BS is that Mr. Waller is the high-value male, self-disciplined, handsome, strong guy who doesn't actually want to say that he's alpha, but he's alpha, whatever, the flip. There's like another clip where he's like, he doesn't like the term alpha, and I'm like, yeah, okay. We have that BS juxtaposed with the truth. And the truth is, this is all bluster so he can have a bunch of sex with women. Like, why would we pretend that this isn't the case? The problem here that has occurred in the recent space of, I guess, the internet or the guru spaces in general is the black pill has taken root, and a lot of us don't even recognize to what extent that is the case. Even if we don't want to call it a black pill, we'll call it lookism, we'll call it the veneer, we'll call it being really friggin' shallow. How about that? So much so that a lot of people are now just talking about what works. And to be fair, the red pill has kind of always been about just what works. And what really works ultimately is just giving women the spark. Rustle their jimmies. Make them have some weird frilly fantasy about how wonderful and great you are. And then after that point, they just kind of fall in line and they just imagine a narrative of which it makes sense to be with you. Essentially, that's just the long and short of what's being distilled currently. The problem with that is, well, there's lots of problems with that. One it's not actually, dare you would say, applicable or reasonably distilled to the general population of like young men in the world to be able to spark and rustle women's jimmies. 2, it's all predicated on women's perception, which means based on the woman you're dealing with, her perception could either be her jimmies are rustled because you're actually a good dude, or her jimmies are rustled because you're a terrible dude, she thinks you can change, or her jimmies are rustled because she's got low self-esteem and you were kind of nice to her at one point, or her jimmies are rustled because you are a jerk-off but you're still handsome and you kind of make her feel special, so she stays despite the fact you're going to treat her badly. In other words, this is all just purely subjective and all just based on literally the whim of women. It's not actually like sustainable. It's not actually tangible. It has nothing to do with your character. If you're a good person, that's great. If you're a bad person, it doesn't matter. When you predicate just your sexual attraction on women based on the fact that they just like you wholesale and they just imagine everything, you're not actually being respected and loved as a man. You're being used as a sexual object. Quite ironically, we have quite the reversal that came from feminism. I'm sure a lot of you guys never thought about this. But they would go on and proclaim how somehow we as men always use women as sexual bloody objects, which I'm certain there is a great amount of truth to that. But now, instead of actually breaking down why being treated like a sexual object is horrible and bad and to avoid, not only do you have feminists now trying to defend sex work and OnlyFans, which is truly transforming yourself into a sexual object, but now they have young men trying their best to be sexually attractive to women to be used as well as sexual objects. Your character doesn't matter. The things you do doesn't matter. Who you are doesn't matter. It's just the way that you look. We've turned young men now into young women. And as such, I guess we've created equality only so far as we're using the same stupid standard of just being shallow, but it becomes unequal because what the measure of makes a man attractive is just wholly different than the measure of makes a woman attractive. Because women can be attractive in so many different ways. Men can only really be attractive in kind of 1 to 2 ways, really. Kind of, for the most part. There's really not much standard deviation in what makes men generally attractive versus what makes women generally attractive. Now, this might all sound like I just ran off the beaten path of my analysis of Justin Waller. And to be fair, this isn't really a full analysis of Justin Waller. It's just kind of using him as a vehicle to really show you that all he's really done is kind of played into, well, the current state of affairs. And that is this hyper-focus and fixation on reaching the top and the pinnacle of the mountain just so you could really be hedonistic. When you're actually challenged on why you can't just be with one woman and have a family with her and raise her and your children well, what you get is a bunch of... You don't get any more logical arguments after that. You don't get any reasonable thought process into your hedonism. You don't get an actual essay written on to why you should have sex with a whole bunch of random women you don't like. Instead, you get a bunch of huffing and puffing. And then he tried his best to be alpha while he huffed and puffed. But he huffed and puffed. He did. You guys saw the clip just like I did. Look, in conclusion, what I'm saying is this. The manosphere in general and the red pill and black pill are always going to be pretty important in our current state of affairs. But unless we actually start breaking down what these problems are and not just, dare I would say, robotically accepting that these solutions work, ergo we should probably use them, we actually need to start thinking about morality, virtue, kindness, compassion, some consideration that goes above and beyond just doing what works to get women to like us. Because doing what works to get women to like us is a path of being miserable, because most of the women that you will find on that path are not worth their salt and are crappy, terrible people. You think it'd be funny, like if Justin Waller had said, the reason why I don't commit to these women is because they're terrible people to commit to. Maybe he does later in the show, I'll have to watch it. But let's say he does say that. Well, then the lady can just beg another interesting question. If these women are untrustworthy and they shouldn't be committed to, why give them the pleasure of your penis? Now, she probably wouldn't put it like that, but she'd be like, why give her the time of day? If she's not good enough to be committed to, why is she good enough to be used? Why are these people reducing themselves to individuals who can use each other? Everyone thinks that it's okay if we all have the same understanding of using each other, but no one ever actually stops and begs the question, why is it okay to use people in the first place? And I think the answer we can all accept, or at least we should accept, is that it's not. Can we all accept that? Well, I certainly hope some of you guys in the audience can. So that being said, man, I should hope you guys got something out of today's video. Hopefully you guys got something to think about. And if you did, I don't know, go ahead and click the like button. And shoot, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below. And as always, you guys have yourselves a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.